And we're back. It's time to go into our last series of the evening weekend qualifier. This is going to be the Valiant going up against the Hangzhou Spark. Spark looking for this win so they can go ahead and slot themselves up just a little bit higher in the standings. Valiant, of course, playing for pride, playing to buffer up that win rate of theirs just a little bit more.
Yeah, they've only had 3 wins so far this entire season. 1 they had versus Chengdu Hunters. Actually introduced the team as well, shouldn't be too unfamiliar. We've had a lot of Easy Hunt innovation in the past. Wouldn't be surprised if they are starting again. Dia has now mostly been matched up with Becky as far as the lineup goes. You know, Easy Hunt innovation together. Marvel, usually the player on our first map. Really impressed with their last game versus Seoul, even despite losing. And maybe that was a bit of a preview to Seoul losing today, because it seemed like more teams were catching up. Maybe Seoul were, I don't want to necessarily speak this too far into existence, because, you know, let's take our tinfoil hat off for a second. I don't know if Seoul are just taking it a little bit easy because they already qualified. I'm sure that can't be the case. It's still a 3-0, but that icon vault there was pretty damn good. Becky carried this team on the Echo. Linksa had some great moments as well on the Zen. Molly's Anna, as good as ever, but still unfortunately not a win. And Achilleos, they're currently on a 0-9 map loss streaks. Their last 3 matches have all been 0-3s.
Well, it has been rough tidings for them, but hey, the last matches from the Fusion versus the Dynasty were all basically 0-3s and whatnot. An 0-4 thrown in there as well in the grand final. So if they can turn it around and get that W, the Valiant absolutely can. I mean, they've shown it in the past. They got that reverse sweep over the Fusion themselves. So I know that they are capable of great things if the stars can align. We'll just have to get our telescopes out and see how the night sky is looking here this evening. The Hangzhou Spark, of course, though, not going to be a pushover squad as they look to best them.
And Hangzhou Spark as well, I think, you know, they had a bit of a rough going in their previous week, right? 0-3 to Seoul, who, by the way, at this stage, there's a lot of 0-3s. You'll notice that to Seoul that we've had, that's because Seoul Dynasty at this stage in the entire season have actually 3-0 every single team. But beyond that, Hangzhou Spark, okay, they lost to Philly Fusion in a 5-map series as well, so people start to lose a bit of confidence for the Hangzhou Spark because they had 2 losses in a row. The one versus Seoul did not look pretty. Most people were kind of down in the Philly Fusion during that stage as well, so them losing to Fusion didn't feel good as well. But they beat the Chengdu Hunters yesterday. That was actually, you know, a pretty resounding win. I mean, Hunters definitely fought. It wasn't extremely one-sided, but the scoreline still is going to be a 3-0. And I'm going to apply the same sort of, to me, expectations on this team as I did the Philly Fusion, which is to say that, okay, you've qualified. You're not the Seoul Dynasty, you're not the Shanghai Dragons, so please, you do have to really prove that you are an extremely good team that's going to really do some damage overseas. So we're going to get to the Midseason Madness, we're going to get to a stage where things are going to get hot and heavy. Speaking of which, you see the no-hill back rub on the Linksa. I need to see the Spark come out in full force, and yesterday we got a good glimpse of that. Today, they need to continue that rolling forward.
They do. We'll see if they can get it done. Yeah, yesterday a bit of a 3 Overwatch day that come through, so I kind of dodged that one. Got in for the closer series. So I'm grateful for that pre-planning on my part. But yeah,
7-map
everything
Sunday.
to play for. 7, yeah. We'll see if it can happen.
5-map Friday, 6-map Saturday, 7-map Sunday.
That was a 9-map Saturday, really. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see if the Valiant can make it happen. I know that there are going to be people, of course, cheering for them, namely
the good news is
Zonde in the chat.
The good news is No-Hill has a shirt on this time. Shoutouts if you get that reference. But,
how well rested is he? Is the question. Has he been denying himself sleep to cook up some more crazy compositions, or has he been getting his sheep counted?
I mean, respect. I think the previous matches, you know, they're definitely a little bit hard on themselves. Like, I saw the tweet from No-Hill recently. He's like, you know, it's, you know, the last 2 months are my bad. But to be honest with you, they had 1 week where they were astounding. They got the reverse sweep versus Fusion. You know, 2 match wins. 2 out of their total 3 match wins. They got the one versus Guangzhou Charge, which they failed to get in the kickoff clash. So it's not all bad news. Just so happens that as we get to the end of the Midseason Madness now, it doesn't get any easier because, as I said, if Spark come out in the same sort of form that they had versus the Chengdu Hunters yesterday, where Alpha you received player of the match, he was ridiculously good on that Tracer, something that I think he was a bit slow to start on in the early games of Midseason Madness. Now he's all but not even just caught up, but overtaken in various respects. With so many teams playing Ashe, Shy is phenomenal in Ashe, as you'll remember. So we just saw what MN3 could do. Shy, let's see if he does something similar.
Be a big boon for them. Also take that pressure off Alpha Yi, because man has had moments where he is absolutely hard carrying as well, much like we just saw from MN3. So if Shy can have that same or a similar level of impact with the Ashe, that does open things up a hell of a lot more for Alpha Yi to feel comfortable. So we'll see what happens though as we go into our first map of Helios.
Let's have a look at opening composition stuff here as well. One other thing to consider is that Hangzhou Spark did play Goose Ray yesterday. And that was on Dorado, so we'll see if that ends up happening again on a Winston map. You could actually very much see Goose Ray, otherwise Burner has been their choice. We're also pretty far away now from the Architect sort of experiment and the flex support. Super Rich is back in the starting lineup, and I think probably for the best. Spark have looked much more comfortable with Super Rich in that position than previously. So, as expected, we have double Ashes coming on through. Apex just like, you know what, Ashe is actually the best hero. People say Sojin's busted. Let's see who really is busted.
Yeah, and I mean, you know, far from it, you know, me being a professional player, but in my experience playing the beta, Ashe has typically been the one who's coming out with some of the highest damage per 5 figures in my experiences. So it seems like just kind of caught up to my own gameplay, you know?
Quicker games and quick play. You know, you don't do the per 10s, you do the per 5s there, don't you? But
Titans and Justice also played up to my gameplay.
I mean, I can
they caught up to.
I can tell you right now, even though Irony does kill easier, I can tell you right now, looking at the stats between both Ashe and Sojin, the Ashe performances have had much higher damage per 10s, have had far more consistent damages than the Sojins, despite the Sojins probably typically getting a little bit more in the final blows department. And I don't know if you had anything to add there for the Hangzhou Spark getting 3 kills, but they get the point.
No, that's about it, I think. Good summary. It's more of a we'll find an opening kill, taking down Shy. It's going to allow for Easy On to get into a decent position perhaps and try to catch up on that ult charge. Currently trailing behind by just about 17 or so. Dive in, Marvel putting just a little bit of damage there onto Irony as the sleep connects onto Bernard. They get the ante down, looking for the elimination, but can't quite finish him out yet. But with the seismic slam and Easy On shot, we'll finally be able to pick off the main tank. Pulse Bomb out, not going to find anything. Innovation does find Super Rich's immortality field on the opposite side of the spectrum there. As Irony finds one before falling, and Shy is completely and utterly surrounded without a hope. Innovation just cleaning up 2, looks for a 3rd, but Alpha Yi should be able to escape, you would think. Dashes over, grabs the Mega Pack, they continue to duke it out. He wants to chase this because that Discord Orb is there. It's just a little bit more damage to make it happen, but Alpha Yi will live to fight another day.
Yeah, it's the addition of Bernard there. Innovation not interested in the 1 versus 2, doesn't want to overstep. That's a smart thing, and you know we're seeing a lot more innovation specifically because I think I don't think he just is the Tracer specialist on the team. He's also a bit of a specialist with a couple of other heroes, but not quite as good in this meta. Tracer being a very important hero currently for all of our APAC teams. Innovation is kind of showing his worth in this team when he wasn't playing that much in the kickoff clash. So here we go. Marvel gets Nano.
Punch there forces Irony to use the Transcendence. Bob now going to be invested by Shy. To keep the point contested. Trance now matched. Langs up, popping that to keep everybody alive, but while he's still under some fire, Langs as well getting chipped away at. Marvel's got to escape using the Meteor Strike to keep himself in the fight. Alpha Yi diving forward, finds Langs up. Pulse Bomb lobbed in, cuts off Molly's escape route. It comes down, and that's enough healing for him to stay alive, at least for a little bit longer. DPS now gone to the side of the Spark. The Bob goes out. To be occupying the point, the Valiant will be able to maintain control of this.
Great kills by Easy On. I mean, the damage is certainly there. Marvel
Last fight.
Coming back for the final kill. And just about there. I think by the time that Spark actually come in for it, it will be last fight, especially waiting for Irony to respawn. That felt like the longest respawn in the world. Super Rich onto the brig here as well, so see what they can do with all of this. As Minefield will be very important coming on in. Well played by Marvel so far, though. I think this Doom versus Ball matchup we've been seeing a lot. And slowly I'm thinking the Ball's got the better of Doom, but Marvel's got other things to say.
Final fight here from the side of the Spark to try to get the flip and then try to win out all of the fights from there on after. Once he started to bleed away, Spark occupying the point for now, looking like the flip is going to come through. Contest at the very last second is there. Shy finds Langsa. A big opening as they cut down the healing. Rotate around and, oh, okay. A little bit of a double take from Bernard. Oh, yeah, that is Easy On. Finds an elimination.
Easy On nearly got booped off.
Stunned for a moment. Yep.
He went off the map and had to coach gun back up, so I think he might have been booped by Super Rich or somebody. Either Burner or Super Rich must have bumped him off the map, and then he had to coach gun back in, which gave Shy an easy kill again. Hangzhou Spark, rather, an easy kill together. He'll be fine. Super Rich is blocking damage. Burner will even eat the Bionade for them both, so should be pretty easy now. It does give Molly some decent ult charge for the Nano, so this is going to be another Marvel Nano straight away.
Getting tagged up a bit, Marvel has to get the Nano just to help him stay alive there. Still feel incredibly low, but Alpha E gets picked off first and foremost. Good opener here for the side of the Valiant, but they lose Langsa as well. That's going to give Irony now the Flux ready to roll. He pops that. Keeping everybody alive where possible. Shine taking down the only casualty found so far. Innovation giving his life to get rid of Super Rich, but Irony is still here, and he is not only healing, he is fragging. The cleanups come through. The Hangzhou Spark win out the fight, and now they're going to be pushing past 90%.
Yeah, they got a Bob here as well, which is super important for the final fight, right? Molly can sleep the Bob, but not for the full duration of the Bob, which means it will get impact. Innovation and Marvel are not going to like that at all.
Trance.
The rally as well. We saw Super Rich swap over to the break. Oh, wait a minute. Okay, there's a recall. Never mind.
He got up.
I was pretty scared for a second.
I think he might have actually been able to dash up over the lid of that well, but it's hard to say. Either way, the Bob now going to be invested. Takes down Marvel. Could not survive. The healing could not come through. Lengza now with the Transcendence at the ready. Like, we're going to have to use them to try to buy some extra time here for the rest of the squad. And yeah, the pressure has been applied. Shy is clicking heads. Absolutely monstrous from him. They said, can he do an MN3 impersonation? Well, he did it there at the very end, coming up with multiple kills for the side of the Spark, enabling them to close out the round. But it's still incredibly close between the two. 100 to 99% as well goes the way of Hangzhou.
And the other thing there as well is you can see that with the Ashe headshot onto the Tracer, it's a one-hit kill, right? So it doesn't, the trance makes no difference. This is part of the other reason why the Ashe gameplay is there, because when Tracer gets good, Ashe has a great matchup with a Tracer. If you can hit that headshot, Coach Gun also helps with that. And obviously you can just kill through all sorts of different things, including trance and all sorts of healing as well. Hangzhou Spark bouncing back from a bit of a deficit. And we'll get the comeback 100 to 99, like you said. Bob ended up making a reasonable difference as I expected. Marvel, despite receiving a Nano, it is still so hard to survive, and it's crazy, right? I mean, you have this Doomfist that has half damage being taken, effectively double the HP bar, but just still gets melted.
Well, now in to Lighthouse, Dynamite out from Shy, just going to be taking an early little lead here on that Bob charge. Sees Langza for just a moment. Get a shot across though. In fact, takes some damage in response. To try to flush them out of that high ground position, but the Dynamite not going to detonate and find any damage. The point becomes unlocked. Alpha E getting tagged down. Hiding just around the corner. Now looks to recontest. Has to deal with two members though. With Harmony out onto him, trying to keep him healthy. This recall's been burned, and you can see Innovation struggling a little bit to keep track of where he's going to be at. Bernard goes into the back line, putting some pressure there onto Easy Han, rolls over, grabs the Mega Pack, Shot going to be taken down. Nice headshot there from Langs up. Innovation traded. As both of these Zenyatas continue to get their hands dirty. The point not yet capped by either side.
And we'll see if this 5v4 can make a big difference. Marvel discorded at low HP. It's the two Zen players in the frag so far, right? And you don't normally think of Zen being played by Langsa, but in a double flex support meta, when Molly goes over towards the Ana, certainly is going to be Langsa picking up those skills. Speaking of which, Easy Han on the board. Burner's been trying very hard to keep him on the lock, but to no avail.
Yep, great Dynamite there from Easy Han. Sets up for Molly to get that shot across them. Shy, they managed to take him down. First point lock-in now there for the Valiant once more as Bernard will fall, and Hangzhou Spark are going to have to reset. Valiant currently looking for any stagger kills that they can possibly get, just poking and prodding forward, but it looks like they're not going to be able to get too much of anything. Just Alfie tucked away in the corner.
You see two frags, one from Langsa, one from Molly. Oh, Shy, he goes down again. It's another flex support. Three of Shy's last three deaths, all three of his last three deaths have been to the flex supports of the LA Valiant, so Spark losing Shy at the top of these fights is costing them quite a lot, and they're not able to do nearly as much over towards Easy Han, where we see once more Bernard trying to get on top of Easy Han, just dies to him.
Alfie into the back line, pulse bomb at the ready, dashes forward, dodges to the side, needs to respect Langza, given the kill streak that he's currently on. Molly taking quite a bit of damage, needs some help, throws down the Bionade, that'll zone him back for the moment. Shy returning, now has Innovation taken out, the Bob's just going to be duking it out, a good old bomb off on the point. Will be the Sparks that dies first. Irony now popping the Transcendence. Pulse Bomb out, not going to find the stick. Molly keeps himself alive. Alpha E takes away the Mega Pack, but there's the sleep. Can they get somebody nearby? Try to scoop up the kill, and they will. Marvel arrives, the headshots fly. Alpha E dead. Trade out as Easy Han was dead just moments before, but now with Shy gone. The upper hand, it's there for the side of the Valiant. Pulse Bomb stick goes across, Bernard falling lower and lower. The Seismic Slam will finish him off with the help of the Discord Orb out from Hangzhou. The Valiant retained control, 75%.
Marvel looking for the ganks. He might get it here as well. He does. That's an ace from Marvel. 5 kills. First one was set up by the Molly Sleep Dart, but the rest of them, he's just going to come on in and pump that damage like you know tomorrow. 87%. Not too sure about the Meteor Strike, but it does allow him to set up. If the Spark does not see the Meteor Strike, they don't know where he is. So he's burnt an ultimate just to set up on a specific position on the map.
Playing forward, Shy once more. Eliminated. Marvel finds that kill. Innovation gets Alpha Yi, and that is all of the delay tactics taken away from the Spark. The cleanup comes through. The OT bleeds down. The Super Rich, the rally in desperation. But it's just sadness awaiting them. What a response here. 199 in the first round. Valiant will extend this to Ruins after a 100-0 sweep on Lighthouse.
Just the ability from the LA Valiant across so many different members to keep a lid on Shy gives them so much in terms of a difference. For Easy Han to have space to work through, for everyone else to have space to work through. The fact that, you know, we're talking about Marvel using an ultimate for setup purposes, just wants to get onto the roof there. And I'm like, well, this better pay off, because that's a whole damn ultimate he's used it. Straight away, kills Shy. Just lands on top of him, bops him out of the server. 5 versus 4 in the final fight. Everything you need. Marvel, 6 kills in a row, gets an ace in the middle of the fight. I mean, Marvel has been incredible on Doom so far. He's easily one of the best Dooms I've ever seen.
Yeah, he's done some wonderful things with this Doom. The tech clearly very much learned. This man spent some time in some parkour maps. Shy going to be hacked off the rip as Innovation starts things with the Sombra. Always a cause for concern when we do see the Sombras at the start.
So,
we'll see how they pilot this one out.
You'll notice I mentioned that Innovation had a couple of other specials here. This is one of them. He has a bit of a Sombra special. Well, Link's onto Super Rich again. Link's had so many first bloods, by the way.
Absolutely has. Shy going to be taken down as well. Alpha Yi only able to find Lengzi here at the end, but now the supports are all dead. The front line broken down. Alpha Yi recalls, but they know exactly where he's going. He will still manage to finish off Molly in the back end of the fight, but the point once more capped by the Valiant to start.
And Bernard, does you stay on the Zarya? Because like it's pretty slow, man. Like Hangzhou Spark, I don't know if this is the right composition for them. They're going to run around. Marvel and Innovation playing this one fairly quickly. The health pack control coming through from Marvel is pretty big as well, given that Innovation has that mega hacked on the coast side all the time.
Marvel spotted as Bernard checks around the corner, pushed away. Bubble up, not going to be taking any damage from the punch. Shy just sat here, sends the coach gun flying. Sends Marvel out, he's getting tagged lower and lower. Will eventually be finished off, but Easy Han gets in on top of the enemy. Ash finds an elimination. Bernard going to be taking a nap in the meantime, and everybody corrals in around the Zarya to try to find the kill, but they haven't been able to find it. He's completely isolated, stuck on his lonesome, and somehow Bernard is still alive and in the fight. Anti-nade goes down onto him at the moment. The EMP now coming across, takes away his shielding, hacks out onto 3. They look for the eliminations, but so far, none to be found if he's not onto the hack targets. Nano going to be used, just everything to try to keep Bernard alive and in this fight. Right click flying through, he's in Innovation, eventually manages to track him down. The flip comes through from the side of the Spark, but the fight continues now. So going lower and lower, the grab going to be invested. 100 energy here for Bernard, but as he tries to round the corner to get that finishing blow, he's not going to be able to do it. They strike him down. The kills are there. Hangzhou Spark might just lose this just as quickly as they gained it, and they do. It's back in control of the Valiant.
It's so hard for Spark to kind of stick on a target here. I mean, they can try and get onto the back line, but even Lynx has been fragging out on this break so far. Between the Tracer, Sombra, and the Doom, LA Valiant are running circles around the Hangzhou Spark. They lose the more stable damage out of playing an Ashe, but that just means the Valiant have to be super active on dives, to be super active on the map. They cannot play passive at all, and they're just getting the face of the Hangzhou Spike. I've said that Lynx gets first bloods, and he just keeps on getting them.
Pulse Bomb out, not going to find the elimination, but still does quite a bit of damage. Bernard gets taken down, the rally rolling from Super Rich, trying to keep the rest of the team alive, and no one is really receiving that green HP. It's going to be forced back around the corner. Alpha U with a pulse. Needs to come up with a massive one. The Super Rich narrowly stays alive. Irony as well getting tagged low as the anti's out of the Shy. contest needing to
Alpha
happen.
touch.
Alpha Yi is there. Will force out the overtime here as the pulse bomb stick comes through. And that's going to be Langza taken out of the fight. A good find, but can they get more? Because they absolutely need a hell of a lot more of it if they want to be in control. They still have such a long hill to climb. Shy here on the high ground, looking for a target. The Bob going to be coming through. Does contest and occupy the point. Keeping things going for the Spark. They will be able to get the flip through. Now moving up, getting ready to crest 20%.
Yeah, it's important that Valiant actually force some ultimates here, so I think they see the writing on the wall. Bob comes out from shot. We can't play up against the Spark. They're going to get staggered here, which is a little bit unfortunate. Innovation getting some final touches of damage in to confirm the EMP, so that's actually going to give the Hangzhou Spark some ability to regain lost ultimates, especially now that Nano is about to be online for Irony. Brilliant stick coming through from Alpha Yi. So in terms of clutch capability for the Spark, Alpha Yi gets a touch, gets a stick on the raid boss of Length so far, who's been doing so much in the break, and that allows Hangzhou Spark to confirm the 5v4.
Halfway to the flip for now. Alpha Yi getting stunned there for just a moment by Marvel. They don't manage to find the kill, but the flip is coming through. Now they have it. Spark off the point, the pulse bomb dropped in. Not going to find anything. Alpha Yi still holding on to one of his own. Bernard hacked here for the moment, but the Nano is helping to keep him alive. Alpha Yi goes into the back line. He manages to find Molly. The rally rolling from Langza, trying to keep everybody else alive, but he will fall quickly thereafter. Shy with some great shooting, picks up those kills. It looks like the Spark will once more be able to regain control of this point and continue to tick up.
The fact that they had the point flip, though, is really unfortunate for the Spark because they lose a lot of important percentage points, right? When you're winning the fight but not gaining percentage on the map, that really sucks. I don't know what happened to the EMP there from Innovation. He might have been punched out of it, might have been, you know, stunned out of it. It didn't look like his EMP actually landed on anybody. Perhaps I missed that. We'll have to see. See if they can land this dive, though. Irony, Mr. Bionade himself will be playing.
Easy Han dead. Good headshot from Shy, just buying more time, buying more percentage for themselves. Innovation with a sliver of HP. Needs to get some healing. Molly going to be emptied out. He throws the Nano. It's going over to the Langza, but he can't play forward off of this one. So the Nano's not going to lead to much of anything. Marvel pulling lower and lower. They need to keep him alive, and well, he does end up dying. Finds Bernard for it, but that's still going to be favorable here for the side of the Spark at the moment.
Should be easy to touch, though, because they have a Sombra right, so not going to be a bit of an issue for the LA Valiant. And this will be really unfortunate for the LA Valiant to lose because they were so far ahead at one stage. Hangzhou Spark had to make basically 099 comeback. Here comes that rally from Super Rich.
Meteor strikes used by either side. The drop down coming through. Not going to be finding too much damage there. Is Marvel. Gets the hit into the corner, onto the pillar, is onto Shy. But Shy taking down Molly moments before. Now he finds another kill. It's Marvel dead. Langza out. Just the DPS duo here from the side of the Valiant to try to win it out. But Easy Hunt has fallen. An Innovation. He's not going to be able to do much of anything. A quick little scope in. Shy cleans him up, and while it is close, Valiant clearly turned up here, practiced and ready to play. The Hangzhou Spark are going to be able to take the first map. Ilios is theirs. They kick things off 1-0.
I think Valiant can't be too upset about that performance, but at the same time, I think they were so close to losing. You see the kind of frustration on Molly's face there as well, because, you know, part of the issue there for me was you do see the ending, which is basically he pops a Nano into Langza. Like you said, they couldn't do anything off the back of that one. It seemed like such a wonky play for the LA Valiant when they were so far ahead, and all Spark needed to do was to give Shy some space to work. And once he got that space, Shy started popping off on this Ashe, whereas prior to that, the LA Valiant had mostly kept a lid on top of Shy for the entire game. Props to Alpha Yi, though. That one contest of the Pulse Bomb flip, that was everything for the Spark.
And it was a huge win here from the side of the Spark, who looked like they were backed into a corner, but they managed to fight their way out of it. Valiant now starting with, on the back foot. We'll see if they can put the right foot forward, though, as we get ready to go into King's Row this time for our hybrid map for our last series of the week and evening. Whether or not they can tie it up. We'll see what happens when we come back from the break, so don't go anywhere. The action continues in just a few. A hard-fought battle on our first map, but one at the Hangzhou Spark can hold their heads high after being a victorious in. 2-1 for them on Ilios to kick things off. So now they have one map under their belt. We'll see if they can get another as we get ready to go into King's Row, or if the Valiant will be able to tie up the series.
It just feels like such a shame for the LA Valiant as well, because in the kickoff clash, they had multiple map 5s. Seemed like they were deserving of winning games. They were good enough to win games, but they were just falling short. Now, they're no longer getting maps, but the sadder thing is the maps are super close. This map in particular, down to the wire. I mean, it could have easily have gone either way. Said the same thing about multiple maps yesterday. Well, maybe not the first, but the last two definitely, especially Eichenwalde for LA Valiant versus Seoul Dynasty, right? And that's versus the Seoul Dynasty as well, where, okay, Seoul have lost twice now, but I still consider them to be one of the best teams. Other teams are catching up is, I think, the real storyline that we're going with here. And certainly LA Valiant, they look good. They look good enough to beat the Spark, but they can't close out these maps when it matters.
Still has been the struggle. We'll see if the swap-ups help lead them to a map victory here, as we do have Becky and Dia stepping in for the side of the Valiant. And it's going to be Liga making a little appearance for the side of the Spark.
That's his league debut. That's his league debut. He has never played in the Overwatch League before. This is his first ever game in a year and a half.
I mean, Hangzhou fans...
Holy, wait a minute.
Last season, there's a lot of people saying, where is he? Why isn't he playing? Well, it's finally happening. I know I didn't put as much emphasis on it as I probably should have, but I was kind of just really making sure that I was reading this correctly. It's like, did the Spark make any changes? Let me go down the line. And there's a Liga. Wait, a Liga? What?
I don't care anymore. Liga, first map, debut in the Overwatch League. He's Rookie of the Year. I don't even care that he's technically not a rookie because he was signed last year. Didn't even get to play. I don't care anymore. No, okay, but we are expecting a lot. Okay, history lesson here. Who is Liga? You've never seen him before. He's been sitting on the Spark bench for a year and a half. He is a Sigma specialist in some ways. Off-tank player. Used to be Dia's teammate on Team CC. Used to be Dia and Gaga and Farway, their teammate. Used to be Super Rich's teammate as well. Back in the days of Team CC when they won Contenders Asia Gauntlet. Used to be Innovations. There's a lot of connections here you'll notice between the two different teams. So... I mean, I just can't believe we're actually seeing him. He is like known for his Sigma. So if there is a world and a meta that he should kind of shine in, you hope it be this one.
Yeah, a bit like Krong in that regard. Let's see how he fares now. Is Marvel just going to be sticking through with the Doom Fist that he's so well versed at? Bionade not quite going to clip him. Just out of range of that AoE. There's the high ground contest from Marvel. Grecian stun does come across. Discord Orb is out. We'll be able to get top back up, though, as they start the point contention here. Rotating back is just a lot of attention being paid to that rookie there, as we can safely call him a rookie. He might have been signed for over a year, but not having played, he's still a rookie.
How does the rules work? Where's Mr. X moving in? How do the rules work? I don't actually know. I think technically he doesn't count as a rookie anymore, but I don't know. I have no idea.
I think he's got it.
We'll let the people with those paychecks figure that one out. Brad Ross, maybe you can tell me a little bit later. I actually want to talk about the Echoes for a little bit because we saw Becky carry on this Echo on Eichenwalde versus Seoul Dynasty yesterday. Alpha Yi has been known for his phenomenal Echo plays as well, so that's not going to be matched on both sides. Oh, Super Rich in a little bit of trouble here, but he's okay.
He gets utterly destroyed. Nade placement here from Shy is fantastic. Zones him to the left side of the hotel. Looking to push out though, they will force him away. There's the slide out. Alpha E with a quick cancel on the beam. Realized he wasn't going to be able to get that execution onto Becky, so pulls back away. Slow going. First tick was nearly there for the side of the Valiant as they recontest the point once more.
Minute 30.
Didn't quite make it happen. Jump away, Marvel. Staying safe from the accretion stun. Dia just trying
Molly on Nano.
Hope and pray somebody comes through. Gets tagged there by those
arrows. Nano engage.
He's got him. There's Alfie taken down out of the skies. Now point being occupied. First tick surely getting to come through, but as I say that, Marvel, he rotates off. The kill is there from Shy. The rail, it connects. Dia trying now to contest onto that high ground, but he has been spotted. He's falling lower and lower. Duplicate going to be coming through. Becky's got a couple people contained in the side of room. The sleep is across. The accretion stun hits onto Liga. Says, welcome to the Overwatch League. They clean him up. The flux is there in rapid time. Becky will find a second elimination with Super Rich being taken down. Point, however, still not being taken. First tick getting ready to come through. They have snatched that up for themselves, but Marvel still on the Doom. Can they recontest? Or rather, with
very clean from
rotating back, can they recontest?
from Becky. I was thinking about Liga. Liga got clapped by Becky there, unfortunately, but now on the retake here, Alpha Yi copies the Doom over. Can he get something done? Shy on the overclock here as well. They have the frag so far.
Well, he doesn't do it too much of anything, but he does cause a nice distraction for 2 kills to come through here for the side of the Spark. They pick up Molly, they pick up Becky. Who's now going to be swapping back over to the Tracer with Langza going down. This is the Hangzhou Spark finding stability.
Yeah,
He's been able to come back through. Marvel's dead.
I gotta say as well, that's really a shame because we are barely shy of a 2-tick there from the LA Valiant. I was in the middle of complimenting Becky because he had such a clean dive in. He receives her nano, was wondering where's the nano going to go. Strange that they didn't nano Marvel, who was on low HP. He dies. Becky gets the nano, finds a copy, completely stomps on top of Liga, and just does everything required from an Echo player. So LA Valley not being able to cap with the back of that one is a little bit tragic. Less than a minute remaining now. Liga does have his Flux available. This will be his first ultimate of the Overwatch League. See what he does with that.
An exciting one at that. See if he can find some value here. There's no trance, there's no immortality field, obviously, so a big catch could be massive here for them. The Flux now going to be coming through. Looks like it might have been a whiff.
Three players checked into the hotel. You know, got some good betting in there, I hope, as LA Valiant just chilling out, waiting the Flux out. Ooh. Still 20 seconds remaining, though, so they might have dodged the Flux, but really they're not on the fire just yet.
Well, certainly not. Marvel, every time he tries to contest this high ground, just gets chunked out. Liga now under some fire. Dragon Strike comes through, but the Immortality Field is there to keep him alive. Point now having to be occupied. OT needs to be forced. Has anyone touched it? They have now. Shy going to be taken down, but Dia traded a 1-for-1 so far on the DPS. Liga under fire once more. Discord Orb sat here on the Sigma. Can they keep him alive into the fight? Or rather, the Ante comes across. Becky gets the pulse bomb through. They find the elimination. Irony now falling lower and lower, sitting in the hotel, ends up falling down. Super Rich not going to be able to do a damn thing here. We'll just drop down through the Immortality Field, buy some time to try to not get split spawned too badly. But the cap will be there eventually for the Valiant. 2.5 minutes now added to the time bank.
Really cool stuff from the support line of Hangzhou Molly as well. I think super underrated on this team, but more and more I'm starting to see their value. I'm starting to see how much work they're putting into this. And look, I said this to you in the break, but Molly didn't look too happy after losing Ilios, so I hope he's kind of forgiven himself a little bit for the Ana plays, because that nano onto Hangzhou eventually actually got them a kill as well. Didn't nano Marvel, didn't nano Becky, but was enough to allow Hangzhou to kind of carry hard, who's been a real sleeper hit on this team. I gotta admit, Hangzhou's been popping in some big numbers.
Dynamite over the top. Liga once more being the focus of the Valiant, wanting to go for the rookie, not rookie. I'll still maintain that he's a rookie. Drop down. Now contesting here on the corner. Barrier broken.
Waiting for window.
Pilot this rather safely. Shy with a nice opening kill, though. Gets the rail headshot there onto Dia. Now the window's going to be opened up. They continue to push forward and occupy the space around the card. Couple people zoned off on this right-hand flank. Langza now being spotted. The Sleep Dart comes into Peel. Shy getting jumped on the Transcendence coming through. Marvel finds the finishing blow. They clean up the Immortality Field as well. Liga has to try to back up. The Flux this time does get a catch. Marvel up into the air, ends up going down. Well, Flux itself won't find the kills. The cleanup comes through from the rest of the Spark. Nice cooperative effort from them to once more halt this.
Valiant don't have the numbers here, so they have to back out now. Marvel, I think, was just maybe half a second off from punching out of the Flux range. He was actually mid-punch animation, gets caught. Not the best window I've seen from Super Rich. That amplification matrix doesn't really help them at the end of the day. What it does do is split off the LA Valiant, but even then, Marvel still gets a kill off of Molly's amazing sleep dart, but that's not enough to get Valiant across the board. Valiant now struggling on time. A lot of ultimates on the other end. Who's going to receive the nano this time? It's probably Marvel, because Becky's off the Echo.
Alfie pushing forward, looking for an opportunity to get a beam across. Doesn't find one, falls low. Goes through the dupe, dive into the back line. Seismic Slam does hit a couple to try to keep him alive. Now has that Immortality Field out as well and manages to make his escape. Overclock, rolling, gets the hit onto Marvel. Shy sliding away, tries to stay safe. Dia going to be taken down, as you say. Not available. Langza swapping over now onto the Lucio to try to rejoin as quickly as humanly possible, but someone's going to have to touch. It's wrapping around the back. There's the Meteor strike through. Beautifully timed by Marvel. Does manage to force out the OT. Langza here on the high ground, however, all on his lonesome, isolated. Now dead. Sticky bombs go through. Marvel dead in transit. Mid-punch ends up falling, and that should be the end of it. 96 meters as far as they're going to be able to get. No point being OT here for the side of the Hangzhou Spark. Or for the side of the Valiant, so Hangzhou Spark have a win condition is what I mean to say.
celebratory trance there for Irony as well. So, the entire way through that last fight and a half, I think even 2 fights, Irony was never in a position where he was forced to use the trance. So even if things went very poorly for the Spark and they started trading members and losing members, would have been bailed out by the trance, I could imagine. So LA Valiant, they nano Marvel, but they lack the damage, as you need to see everybody be able to kind of fly on in and assist that damage, but not to be the case there. Maybe a bit of a premature swap off for Becky as well. I'd like to see Becky stay on the Echo throughout both A and B. I think C is when you can consider, okay, not the best position on the map to play the Echo anymore, but to already be off the Echo when that is such a prime win condition, such a major strength for the LA Valiant, as displayed when he kind of just shoved his face into Liga, attacking A, as displayed yesterday versus all the Seoul Dynasty. I mean, the Becky Echo is a major source of their power, and I kind of felt the difference of not having that once he swapped over to Tracer.
We'll see how they fare on the defense. Echo Hangzhou set up here for the Valiant. Spark right now, at least showing the Hangzhou themselves. We'll see if they get swapped up at all after the initial recon error comes through and they get a little bit of scouting done.
I find it interesting that Dia is on the Hangzhou here. I think it's not completely out of question because Hangzhou matchups versus Sigmas, they do exist to kind of break the hold of that Sigma, remove the shield. Also, the Dragon Strike is a great counterplay to the window. But Ashe being as good as it is for a lot of these APAC teams, none of these guys are playing Ashe. It's actually, it's a bit of a signature for both Shy and Dia. I think Dia eventually play the Ashe on that B defense, or B attack rather, but I guess starting out of the Hans will be the option for both teams, so pay attention to, I guess this time Becky is unimpeded as Alfie is not matching him on the Echo. Should be having a much better time.
Well, already point contest is there, and Marvel's been brought down off the high ground, something that Sigmas would love to just be able to sit on continuously, but has been brought down here alongside Liga. Throws up the barrier on that left-hand side, keeping himself protected from the enemy. Ana, Dia going to be the first one to fall. Molly now under some fire, sends out the sleep dart, will get that connection there onto Shy, but there's just nobody in position to try to capitalize. Becky would love to get himself into Hotel right there, but he's not going to be able to do it, and Alfie somehow is alive! He didn't get taken down, he had about 7 HP, gets that stray shot across onto Becky, and just like that, the Hangzhou Spark are breaking through. The cap comes in, it's 5 minutes and 18 seconds in the time bank for them.
It's a brilliant fadeaway shot from Alpha Yi, who has been himself on a bit of a renaissance. Didn't depart too much from the Rookie of the Year conversation, but in his past few games, he has just been phenomenal. So, Sonic Arrow coming on through, advanced position being taken by Liga and the rest of the Hangzhou Spark. Solo capping the point is probably going to be someone like Irony, as the LA Valiant. I mean, they're running out of space here quickly as they have to kind of fight for the first couple of corners first. Payload not going to be contested at all for the time being, as I think the super rich window as well will be a pretty big difference maker.
Alfie scouted there on that flank. Becky forcing him out of position. Storm Arrow, Hangzhou duel here on the high ground. Looks like they will end up backing away, both taking quite a bit of damage. Alfie, though, still just narrowly ahead when it comes down to this Dragon Strike, which will naturally tick up and be available here. And yep, the contest is not happening so far. Just a minute gone, and already so much of the distance has been closed in. Dragon Strike being sent through the building. Just kind of keeping everybody corralled over onto that right-hand side. Storm Arrows going out, Dia nanoed up, managing to find the kill here onto Alpha Yi. And Liga out of position, ends up going down. Like, the support's in a bit of an interesting position now for the side of the Hangzhou Spark. Full wraparound for the last 3 members still standing. And yeah, they kind of are committing to this fight. The window comes out first. Irony still not being pressured enough to pop that Transcendence. We'll see if he decides to use it. But for now, just have them zoned back. Valiant more than happy to just continue to occupy the cart. We play a little bit of a ring around the rosy. Super Rich going to be antied out, forced down off the high ground for just a moment. Shy with a sliver of HP, 6 health remaining for him. Oh, the health pack taken. Alfie does not give it over to him, but now it's going to be the Flux coming in first from Liga. Slept out of it, but Dia still taken down. The card advancing forward. Someone's going to have to touch. The Flux comes through and pulls them away from it there for just a brief little moment, but it's getting closer and closer. 0.19 meters left to go as Shy finds Molly, gets Becky, the headshot there at point blank range. He's looking for a little bit more. Langza taken low, pulls back, breaks line of sight, and once more Shy with almost no HP has to retreat. Liga taken
just keeps
out.
on getting away
the
with
cart
it.
now starting to roll back, and yeah, I don't know how he continues to survive these scenarios, but the Valiant, they do manage to win out the fight and stop the Spark here, at least for just a moment.
And the Spark as well, they committed to the actual high ground play with only 3 members, but they were so hard to dislodge unless Marvel wants to throw in a Flux, and hindsight would say maybe that would have been the right call to make. They weren't going to dislodge them at all, and most of those members stayed alive, including Shy, who just refuses to die. And at this stage, okay, still 240, it's a good amount of time there. Payload distance is also fantastic for the Hangzhou Spark. Alpha, he's had enough of this playing. He just wants to go towards Genji, find that play, go for the W. They lose Irony, but this is just a farming fight for the Spark. They trade even.
Yep, it's a trade out onto the Zenyatta's. Long run back for both of them, but now Liga taken down. Super Rich just too much that he wasn't able to keep up with there as far as the healing is concerned. Now he himself has fallen. 2 minutes and 15 seconds remaining here. The Hangzhou Spark, not much further left to go.
It's a big reset, though. This time, it's a real reset. You don't see any Hangzhou Spark members kind of hanging out unnecessarily. No one's spending extra ultimates. There's no ultimates that just play for either anyway. Valiant are actually the ones with the ultimate. So the closer this gets to the OT, which is still just under 2 minutes away, the more impactful this Dragon Strike is going to be. He's probably just going to end up using it now anyway, or when Hangzhou Spark decide to go for this fight. Still feels like a pretty long defense ahead. Spark don't need a win just yet. They're still just farming ultimates for now.
Okay, there's the Dragon Strike. Liga caught in a little bit of a bad, precarious position. Discord Orb goes out onto him. He was antied as well, but uses the Kinetic Grasp. Eat up some of that damage, keep himself nice and safe. Super Rich tagged up a bit. The Nano at the ready for Molly. We'll see where he decides to invest this one. As Marvel lower and lower, now has the Flux available for himself.
Shy's on the flank already, so this is where Hangzhou Spark, I mean, they're not interested in playing main anymore. Finally, the ultimate starts to come online. Marvel goes first.
He takes him down. Rail didn't connect, but it didn't matter. Still did enough damage to go ahead and finish him off. Didn't connect to the head, I should say. Slangza has to pop the Transcendence. He moves forward. Helps keep Marvel alive and in the fight. The Flux not able to find too much of anything, but now that's going to be the Flux coming in. The Trance has expired. He drops him back down. Langza is dead, as is Dia. Marvel now getting taken out. The Pulse Bomb, a Hail Mary here from Becky. Only able to find Alpha Yi, but he cannot continue to occupy the cart. They will glide forward into victory. And welcome to the Overwatch League. Hangzhou Spark, they pick up the map win. They move up 2-0 in the series.
And that ends up being the Transcendence that breaks the camel's back there as well. And as I sort of mentioned, there were 2 minutes remaining. Great patience being shown by the Hangzhou Spark. They don't need to push their luck. They don't need to kind of just go straight into the LA Valiant, play super aggressively, bait ultimates out of the LA Valiant, get that Nano out of the way, get that Transcendence, Dragon Strike, get all these different ultimates out of the way, bank up your own ultimates, even if it takes you until the overtime to push to the victory. That would be the right macro play, the right macro call to make from a strategy perspective. And that, well, Hangzhou Spark, they managed to force out the trans from Linksa. I don't even know why or how or what got him to pop that Transcendence, but it gave Liga full permission to drop down the map-winning Gravitic Flux to get them that victory.
Well, there you go. A 2-0 lead now here for the side of the Hangzhou Spark, who are looking for yet another 3-0 victory. The Valiant in a position where they need to reverse sweep once more. They've been able to do it in the past. Can they do it here against the Spark and try and deny them from advancing forward into that second place slot here in the APAC region, or at least for maintaining it? I kind of forget where they are at the moment. Anyway, it doesn't matter too much. We'll see if they can get it done, though. Circuit Royale going to be coming up once more, which means that we can probably expect to see Dia sticking through for the side of the Valiant. Can he have as much impact as we saw from MN3? Probably not, but he's the one who told us that MN3 is the best in the league. We'll see if he himself can put up a strong performance and help the Valiant get a map win under their belts. Circuit Royale is coming up in just a few minutes, so don't go anywhere. And we are back at 2-0 lead here for the side of the Hangzhou Spark over the Valiant, who now need to reverse sweep if they want to walk away victorious and deny the Spark from occupying that second place spot going into the Midseason Madness tournament. We'll see if they have it. You know, it's been kind of close at times overall. Kings Row, yep, they give it the point, but they do a decent job of draining down the clock. But unfortunately, they cannot get that win. And now, staring down the barrel of a reverse sweep, never a great spot to be in. We see Easy Han going to be coming back in for Becky.
And technically speaking, I mean, we've seen Valiant reverse sweep before. They did it to Fusion not that long ago. Sorry, Philly fans. I mean, I got to keep you honest a little bit here. Can't just gas you up forever. Got to, you know, we got to level out and be grounded. One player that I'm going to talk about here, right at the bottom of the screen, another Overwatch League debut. Pineapple coming in for Alpha Yi. I think this is the first time that we've seen Alpha Yi even being subbed out. And this is going to be the double hit scan substitution in. We saw how good that was for Fusion just before versus Seoul Dynasty, Carpe, M3 playing together. Now you're going to get the two hit scan players of the Spark playing together as well. Pineapple has been sitting behind Shy as a bench player this entire season. What's his history? He was a teammate of both Irony and Alpha Yi coming through from Billy Gaming, which is Spark's Academy team. So another Academy graduate from Spark's own system now debuting on the stage.
I'm going to mortify her once more. Just give me a nod. Will the Valiant reverse sweep this series? What do you think? I'm asking my wife once more. Is it yes or a no? She says yes. She said the Valiant are going to reverse sweep it. So there you go, Tezande. She's got your back. She's also a believer. We'll see if they can make it happen.
She predicted Shanghai 2 days ago, so you know that's so far 100% prediction record. You know, boom. Sorry, Spark, but you know, it's we've spoken the reverse sweep into existence now, so it's got to happen. Also, Tay's pretty good at predicting reverse sweep. He said Valiant reverse sweep versus Fusion, and then it happened.
And they did.
Can't deny that. Can't deny that. On the other end, though, I want to talk about the fact that, okay, well, Becky's been subbed out for Easy Han, so we're finally seeing Easy Han and Dia play together. That's also not something we commonly see, simply because, well, you know, they cover kind of the same role. And as we move on to Circuit Royale, I mean, I think every team that has two hit scan players on the team is now feeling justified, like, yep, this is the reason why we have double hit scan, so we can play maps like this and matchups like this as well.
I mean, well, just given the amount of DPS players that the Valiant have, they should have all of those roles covered, surely, right?
I mean, they have as many as Spark have. Yeah, both teams have 4 DPSs. Don't talk to me about the fifth one. I don't think he exists.
And then the Spark are finally starting to utilize some of them, as it turns out. That extended bench that they've had for a good long while is now starting to get used here in this last match here of the regular
Architect
season.
Got played. Not on DPS, but Architect did get played, so I mean, technically speaking, he's there.
It was an El Clasico for him going to the Ana, something that we haven't seen for quite a while. Forward contest here from Easy Han, trying to get up into the grill of Shy a bit. Does force him back, now has the statue all to himself. Rail charged up, see if he can find a nice shot. Goes sliding across, it's going to be a body shot there on a Shy. Takes him low, and that's the alley-oop set up. Dia gets the head. Nice little dink there across onto Super Rich. The Immortality field now cleared out. Super Rich in a bit of a rough position, just ducking and diving as best as possible. Trying to stay ever elusive, but he cannot keep Benar alive, and he cannot deny Dia for too much longer. The shot will come across. He gets Pineapple on the back end of it, and there's the cap for the Valiant, making a great time here on A.
Yeah. I mean, this is just going to be further staggers that can help. You can actually see through the silhouette that Irony is on 1 HP and very stuck. Marvel's going to push up and collect that kill. This is kind of the beauty of having Marvel on the team, right? Because, okay, he's fantastic at the Doom, but guess what? Another hero that he has specialized on the path is the Sigma, so he gets to stay in and play the Sigma also. It's an incredible talent to have on the team that is flexible enough to cover these kind of different roles, and as 4 members of the Valiant push on up, they'll get the payload into position as well, so, you know, in terms of playing for objective, all the strategy, pretty sound so far. Mechanics on point as well, as Dia has the lead on the infra site. Shy has now finally caught up.
Okay, we've got sight for sight. Both teams getting full information here on their opponents. Marvel, I thought he was out of that flux, but does narrowly get clipped by it. Immortality Field from Hangzhou will keep him alive. Let's go ahead. Keep him topped up. Window for window now as we continue to match. Super Rich going to be sniped out of the sky. Shy, however, answering back finds one, but Molly takes Shy's head off. Marvel moves up, gets on top of Bernard, and that is going to be the team kill coming through as Valiant just continue to storm their way through this map. 5.5 minutes nearly for the final stretch. This is insane.
Marvel thinks he's still playing Doom. The guy just like full man modes into Burner on the rest of Hangzhou. I don't know if you saw that. He just walks over terrain and just runs at Burner full speed as fast as Sigma can float over. And the guy is just like, oh, this off tank? No, this is a main tank. I'm playing Doom currently. He's just running at the Hangzhou Spark. That was incredible. Rock in the face, the entire squad. And now 2 points collected. 5 minutes still to capture C. I mean, this has got to be a map completion. This is a lot of time.
Pineapple. The Dragon Strike at the ready. Already half the distance here at the final stretch given up. Hangzhou Spark just wanting to continue to contest around Pool, but he's the Valiant. They're not really interested in fighting over that area, at least not until they round this final corner. They're just going to keep the cart presence right here down on main.
Well, they got to force Hangzhou Spark to... That's the thing, right? They got to force Hangzhou Spark to respond to them first. Now, usually what happens if you don't contest Pool is Hangzhou Spark have all of the high ground to play with, but I don't know if they're really utilizing that to its full extent. You see Burner kind of poking through every now and then to apply that high ground pressure, but otherwise you have two members on the ground here. Valiant are finally going to step off the payload because they don't want to be walking to multiple angles, and now they're going towards the Pool, so got their swim trunks on.
I mean, they've got the cart moved up to such a position where they say, okay, if we can win the fight for Pool, we can just drop down. The cart's right there. We continue to advance. They've shoved them back. Pool's closed for the Spark. As Pineapple just trying to cheat around the corner there, get some storm arrows through, but isn't finding too much damage. Cart now ever closer as the music cue comes in. Dia moving forward.
Whoa,
for a target. Sees Shy. Shy sees him. Shots not going to connect, though. Go their separate ways for the time being.
That's a very important 1v1. If Dia actually kills Shy, he has payload control, he can start pushing.
Big Flux. Transcendence going to be used in response. Fills everybody up. Immortality Field should still be alive. Now it's going to be the counter trans in the back end. Molly helping to keep Marvel moving forward. Flux now from Bernard. Picks them up, drops them down. Immortality Field is there. Keeps them alive for a little bit longer. The pushback comes through. I thought Bernard for a second actually had that elimination on Easy Hunt, but he did manage to keep himself alive. And in the fight, just sliding right back through. Now Bernard's going to be dead. Irony swapping over to the Ana. Pineapple to the Tracer. The cart still advancing forward. No one can touch it. No, they can. At the very last second, Pineapple manages to make it forward, but as he recalls, the completion is there, and it's with nearly 3 minutes left in the time bank. This was a monstrous performance from the Valiant.
I think we saw a over 3 minute time bank on Circuit Royale yesterday. I'm trying to remember what game that was, but it was an extremely one-sided Circuit Royale. Might have been, you know what? I actually can't even remember. But it was very similar to this, but a little bit quicker. I gotta say though, I thought maybe Burnout whiffed his Flux for some reason, but no, he did actually catch some people. But in either case, he was solo. He was alone. Couldn't just kind of solo the entire team, 1vx on LA Valiant, who at that stage had multiple members pushing payload. Pineapple, as you saw, could only touch briefly, and then had to step off the payload, had to recall there, and, well, Irony can't really get back on there. Just isn't enough members left to go for the touch, and I think there were 2 down on members anyway, so LA Valiant, we expected them to cap. We expected them to cap with a reasonably good time bank as well. 258 is far more than reasonable. That's excellent.
Yeah, I mean, just pretty much impeccable the whole way through. I love the way that the Valiant piloted this entire map. I mean, great shooting at the beginning to be able to break through, get that point A cap that just didn't get slowed up at all. And then just pushing the payload all the way basically to the finish before they challenge at Pool whatsoever, saying, okay, Spark, if you want to stop this, you have to come down off that high ground. Spark does not. Yeah. They give up an immense amount of space. Then the contest comes through, they get rid of that high ground occupation from Spark, and then they're able to close it out. So it's just beautifully done from the Valiant.
Yeah, it was I remember now, it was Shanghai Dragons versus Guangzhou Charge yesterday. And, well, Shai will take down Dio almost straight away in the opening fight, so that's going to allow the Hangzhou Spark some pretty reasonable, unimpeded time to play with here. Marvel even eats a rock. LA Valiant realistically can't really compete for this until Dia returns.
Wait for him to rejoin, but for now, Card's still just going to be brought forward, so good amount of time for him to get back into a nice position on that high ground. He's actually going to drop down as the corner contest begins, and Easy Hunt gets a nice snipe, the rail to the head. Shy out of the fight.
Just for posterity as well, Shanghai Dragons had a 3:27 time bank versus Charge yesterday, so 29 seconds ahead of what Valiant had here. And I still don't know if it is the fastest Circuit Royale ever, because I forgot to ask Noah, but I have to suspect it's one of, if not the fastest one. So Valiant trying their best to also have as dominant of a Circuit Royale as possible here. And certainly with Spark already kind of slowing down on this initial A approach, we're not expecting an insane time back from them anymore. They just need to finish this map in any sort of time that they can. Trying to find whatever picks they can as well. Shy had Dia's number early on, but it's kind of quiet for now.
Jump across with the grapple. Dia is relocating, knows that the card is going to start advancing forward, and the statue is no longer going to be a safe position for him. Pineapple now take up that position, start firing some arrows out from the back. Marvel falling low, Shy once more, finding Dia, getting the better of him, goes for another pop shot. Able to find too much, but now it's going to be the Flux invested from Marvel. Looking for some kills, but it's not going to get too much of anything. Lings and Molly both get taken down. Pineapple cleans up too. And while it's not the same neck-breaking pace set here from the side of the Spark, it's still a pretty damn good time. It's 4.5 minutes plus in the time bank for them.
And the important thing will be how much can they snowball this, right? Okay, you have the solo push from Irony. The rest of Hangzhou Spark will go up as far as they can, similar to what Valiant did. A bit of a difference here would be that at this same point, Valiant had a pretty big stagger kill to Irony. If you remember, he was kind of caught on the side and Marvel ran at him. Valiant will have all 5 here, no staggered deaths or anything, so instantly Hangzhou Spark have to respect that and back out.
Pulling away. Guy once more just looking to play the corners. So we'll have the infra sight here from Shy. Dia not having nearly as much impact, not getting nearly as many shots across.
Flux will be next,
quite far behind, so it's getting lapped. Yeah, as you say.
Burner.
Has it ready to go. The
That's
trance is not there.
They can't really slow down here. The Flux should come through very quickly because Payload is stalled out. They have ultimates to play through. They can't allow Valiant to catch up on ult, so this is not acceptable in terms of slowdown from Spark. They have to keep pushing.
Molly. Trance nearly there. The window to open up. Valiant trying to buy themselves some space here.
Molly's got Trance now. The window's closed.
Oh, he tries to go for the Dragon Strike and they cancel it. Dia with a great shot. He finally finds some immense value there with the Widowmaker. Shuts down the ultimate. It's completely burned, and because they didn't pull the trigger and use the Flux, Molly's just got the Transcendence ready to roll.
Well, they don't pull the trigger on anything, and finally when they do pull the trigger, the gun is just whacked out of Pineapple's hands, like you say, because the Dragon Strike got cancelled. How did they not use the Dragon Strike immediately when the window came on through? Link's pops an Amplification Matrix, cool. You have 2 counters set. You have both Dragon Strike or Flux, one of which needs to be instantly deployed. This is exactly textbook how you fail to play tempo. Hangzhou Spark lose all pace.
Bernard out, looking for the Flux. Catches one. Immortality Field, however, there is just tucked around the corner so they cannot clear it out. Lings survives, and Molly, he continues to hold on to the Transcendence, not feeling any pressure whatsoever towards using it. Pineapple now dead. DPS cut down. Shy will answer back. A good headshot there on Easy Hunt.
Oh, nice.
Dia as well. Suddenly there's a massive opening, and Shy looks incredible. Was looking for Lings as well. Can't quite get him. Irony will claim that kill for himself. As Marvel tries to make his way out to not get staggered. Hangzhou Spark, again, respectable time bank. 3 minutes and 40 for the final stretch.
Okay, look at this. Dia's actually gone over towards the Tracer, and that's just going to be, I think, a decision made where I believe Shy will probably end up swapping off at some point as well, maybe towards the Sojourn, just because sightlines for Widowmaker becomes a lot worse on C compared to the rest of the map on A and B. So we'll play the infra sight, see what happens afterwards. Burner pushed up very far forward in advance, as you would expect, but the full force of the LA Valiant are here, so they have to back out.
Good forward pressure here. Dia on the Tracer, just poking and prodding where possible. See Shy. It's a little bit of damage his way, but needs to play respectfully here, given what Shy was just able to put on display for us there on that last point defense.
They should be able to get this last corner off the infra site. You can actually see the payload is still moving and the silhouette below. It's going past the window of the pool now, so Dia on the Tracer has to challenge this one, but he doesn't want to point the infra site. Finally, it's gone.
There's a Flux, Super Rich dead. Bernard dropped as well. Irony trying to escape, but it's a great Flux accretion connection there from Marvel. So continues to push the issue. Find Shy on the back end. Now, Valiant establishing some control of this cart. 2.5 minutes left to go for the Spark.
Yeah, really good play from Marvel there to control space and just get the damage and kills as the Sigma player for this team. You're in a sort of position now where, okay, like you mentioned, time is well below what Valiant have in terms of their time back. We expected this, we expected the Spark. We're not going to be able to match that, but what time can they get? Because they're going to be very far behind if they can't, with barely anything available. Bernard working on that next ultimate, but you still see the effects of the earlier B defense. Valiant have barely spent. They got 4 ultimates online, including the same trance that Molly has had for a while.
Diving in the back, he's looking for the stick, and oh my goodness, he gets it! Dia, what an opening! Takes down Irony. More time bought. Cart again just being brought forward as much as possible. Shy will find Hangzhou. Window of opportunity. Shy finds Molly. The support's taken down. He's trying to get Dia. Got shots flying from either side. But the rest of the Spark, they're not in a position to try to capitalize off of this. The cart's just going to start rolling back once more.
Yeah, I mean, they're good trades. It forces Valiant back, right? It will give some space control back to the Spark, and immediately, because Valiant vacate the high ground, Spark take it. And we talk about having 4 ultimates online. Spark, another team with 4 ultimates online, nearly 5. The infrasight, which will be really important to scout out what is looming ahead in terms of high ground control, which towards the pool is exactly what Valiant want to play for. That's a great window position when they want to go for it.
And Easy Han taken down. Bernard pushing up towards pool, managing to find that elimination to kick things off here on this final stretch. A minute about to remain. As you say, payload starting to move forward, and Shy gets Dia. Continues to open things, utilizing that infrasight to its fullest. Grecian not going to connect, but I don't think they're going to be too bothered by it, because Easyon is just permanently occupying the respawn room right now. Dead as soon as he tries to rejoin the fight. Volley now left out to dry all. It's lonesome here in main. Ends up falling. The cart continuing to inch forward. The flux is there, but the Transcendence counteracts it. Things are now taking down the window. Set up. Pulse bomb. Not going to get the stick. Easyhan with the overclock. Wheel Dome Pineapple. Dia now once more taken down. Easyhan with another headshot. Is that going to be enough, though? Molly returns. Takes out Bernard. Easyhan. The Over Harmony sat on him.
They
try to buy enough space, but they're making it happen. Irony and Super Rich die as Molly claims kills on the enemy supports. 15 seconds remaining with just shy of 2 meters left to go.
And they're all swapping here. Here we go. Bernard back on towards the ball. Shy going towards the Ash. Okay, we'll take it. Pineapple Tracer as well. They got to run for this payload. Can anybody touch? That's going to be the biggest question.
Pineapple. Okay, he gets it. The OT now forced out. Bernard playing on the high ground, ready for the pile driver. Should he find an opportunity to use it, but then this corridor goes over towards him. He's going to be slowed up. He makes his exit. The heels getting pumped through. They manage to keep him alive, but Chai is going to be the first one who falls. The rollout coming in. He's looking for the slam. Hasn't found much of anything yet. So far, just the singular kill. 2.2 meters left to go. Pineapple going to be taken down. The delay tactics here for the Son of the Spark are running thin. Pulse bomb out, not finding anything. Anti on the 2. The kill's not quite coming through yet. Hangzhou down to a sliver of HP, but Molly manages to keep him alive, and Super Rich cannot get the touch. The Valiant, after setting such a fantastic pace on their attack, will successfully defend just in front of point C, and this series is not done yet.
Yeah, it's got to be the loss streak broken there for the LA Valiant as well in terms of, well, not series, but definitely maps, right? They were 0-0 in maps so far in their last 3 games, and now finally they'll be able to come back and get one ball. That is going to be great for the confidence of the LA Valley. They definitely deserve to win that map. They were ahead pretty much the entire way through, and even if Hangzhou Spark had actually managed to get the cap, you would have seen their time go from 0 to 1, being boosted up to 1 minute, a further 1 minute being added on for the LA Valley, which gives them 3 minutes 58 or something like that, nearly 4 minutes versus just the 1. So it would have been a very one-sided time back. So great stuff by the LA Valiant to clean this up.
Well, push now. All that is separating the Valiant from taking us into a map 5 as they try to pull off yet another reverse sweep. Hangzhou Spark putting out, experimenting a little bit. Liga able to find the victory for them, but it seems like Pineapple, that seat unoccupied, likely going to be stepping away, and we should be able to expect the return of Alpha Yi. We'll see what the comps look like, though, because both of these teams have been playing musical chairs a bit with the rosters. Let's see what they piece together for what could be the final map of this set. Again, Hangzhou Spark needing to close this out if they want to occupy that second place spot for better seeding going into the midseason madness. Valiant is looking to shut them down and keep them locked in third. We'll see if they can pull it off. We'll see if they can extend this into a 5th and final map when we come back for New Queen Street. And we are back, and we're not done quite just yet. Hangzhou Spark unable to find victory there on Circuit Royale means that this series carries on to New Queen Street, where the Valiant continue to try to engineer yet another reverse sweep.
Well, it certainly looked good on that last map. I mean, if they're going to get a reverse sweep, they need to be coming in pretty hot, and that was certainly a great map coming through from Valiant, both attacking side, defending side, fantastic time bank, and then end up being a hold that prevents the entire, time bank from coming through. We don't even get to the second phase. Session being subbed in for Marvel here. People that are confused, like, why would Session come in? It is New Queen Street, it's a push map. Session's going to probably just one-trick the Zarya on this map, and that'll be how they get it across. So the coaching decision is, we're not going to play Doom here. Maybe struggles a little bit, at least that's what Nohill's going to believe, and we're going to be playing instead the Zarya. The further substitutions is that Alpha E, like you said, is going to come back. Burner has the option between both Bull and Zarya, so a little bit more flexible on the Hangzhou Spark side. And I'm grateful to see Pineapple being subbed in, don't get me wrong, but he basically only played Hangzhou, something that Alpha Yi could have just played himself anyway.
Yeah, I think Hangzhou, this is widely just a, hey, look, you know, the qualifiers are already over. We're probably contented with either the second or the third place spot in the region. Obviously, still wanting to be able to get that second place spot, but
you can't be content with third here, because the difference is if you get second, they could get top 4 global, which is a major difference from not being top 4 global. I believe they even get a bye, they get pick priority. So for those not aware of the stakes, Hangzhou Spark, if they win this matchup with any scoreline, just as long as they win, they will confirm second seed out of APAC, and Shanghai will drop down to third. And again, getting second, Shanghai can't get top 4 global, but because Spark have the points, they have the differential, they have all of that kind of behind them, they can get a top 4 global here potentially. It will also depend on what Dallas do to London or vice versa. Like if London can upset Dallas, that will impact things as well. But Spark cannot come in lightly at all. This is not the series for Spark to be like, we'll settle for third. No way.
Okay, rather, let me maybe phrase it this way. Maybe the Spark are saying, we're in a good spot. We have a 2-map lead. Liga got his playtime. And we're playing against the Valiant, so we think we can put Pineapple.
But when you
that's basically
underestimate the Valiant,
line.
but when you underestimate the Valiant, that's what happens. That's what happens. Because the Valiant are no pushovers this season. They are definitely no pushovers. If you give them an inch, they will take at least 2 inches, which means they could actually win.
3, 2, 1.
Well,
Unlocks in 30 seconds.
let's see what happens now.
Oh, and by the way,
Bernard's going to be matching
this is going to be that, forget the Zarya, but there's also the Lucio and the Sombra coming up through. This is one of those no-hill 5 AM compositions coming through. You asked for it, he delivers. You're saying, like, where are these, like, late-night comps? Boom, we got one. Technically, though,
all right,
they finished New Queen Streak with this versus Fusion, so can they do it versus the Spark?
time will tell as the opening volleys come through. One thing to be concerned about is certainly going to be Shy back over onto that Ashe, and as well as Alfie, who's just, back in the lobby in general. Back up there on the Sasha for just a moment. The bubble helps keep him protected, so he does manage to exit, but the Spark are going to have control of the bot first and foremost. You start getting some distance set up here on the map.
Alrighty. Shy at 41, and again, we saw how good M3's Ashe was on this particular map. We'll see if Easy Hunt ends up thinking about swapping over towards that at some point as well. I'm starting to really believe in this Ashe pick on a majority of the maps. Alpha on Tracer is a very welcome sight, though.
Rotate around the back. We see if he's able to find much value as Easy Hunt starting to contest here into the top walkway. Innovation there. Coupling with him, Irony does get taken down. Russian finding the opening kill. Bot, however, still not really moving at all. And we'll start shipping it back. As quick jump in, Shy taken down. Easy On gets him with a headshot.
Okay, that'll be the bot turning around now. The 19 meters of the Spark won't be.
Bernard dying here could be bad. Very, very bad indeed.
That is going to be bad. It's a big stagger. I mean, your main tank's gone. Valiant will be able to get maybe 40 meters here, a further kill as well. Hangzhou at this point need to very much just back on out. Pulse gone.
There you go. There's the lead for the Valiant as the triumphant horns come tooting. Innovation picked off though. Good counter action here from the side of the Hangzhou Spark, but the lead is set up. Valiant now up by just 12 meters.
Innovation, 93%. So the fact that he died means he didn't quite get the last few percentage points. I'll need to find it now because they can definitely engage with an EMP. The Nano's there from Irony as well. Should be plenty of members from Hangzhou Spark you see on the high ground here in the walkway. They should be able to dodge this EMP. So we'll see where this gets set up for Innovation.
Got the hack out on the Alpha E. A little bit of harassment down on the enemy Tracer, but not going to lead to a kill. Bot going to be halted up. 10 meters left to go to tie it for the side of the Spark as Bernard tries to get closer and closer to this grab, but doesn't find it. EMP goes out, doesn't catch anybody. Bradley's going to roll from Super Rich.
Yeah.
Okay, got one, sorry. As there's the grab now. Super Rich going to be the first one to fall. The Nano goes out of the shot to try to keep him alive throughout the rest of the fight. Transcendence is there, now the counter grabs. The headshot comes in just moments before the beat drops. Langza cannot save Innovation's life. Shy still getting tagged lower and lower, but he put a considerable amount of damage there onto Molly. Bernard was in position to go ahead and get the finishing blow, so Zenyatta out of the fight. That's the pickoffs coming through. A bit of an even fight, but overall the bot's still going to be locked into place, which is perfectly fine for the Valiant.
And Valiant have slightly closer respawns here as well. The EMP only catching one doesn't really give them any difference. So, you're right. It might as well have been 0 there. Alfie just shrugs it off, instantly recalls away. Surely this is a kill into Molly, and it is. After you having to expend the extra recall for that one, but you'll get the 5v4. You'll take those any day of the week, as this is important for pushing the bot further forward. Easy High should follow this as well. So Innovation falls, Easy High next, and the payload should be thinking about taking a lead here.
Yeah, okay, there we go. Alfie finally got on top of him. Easy On was able to grab the Mega Pack to stay alive and buy a little bit of extra space for himself, but now Sashin going to be taken down, and Hangzhou Spark have an opportunity to take this lead and potentially get to this checkpoint. I think the recontest should come through before that happens, but they can at least get pretty damn close.
They don't have, well, actually they do have good touches. I was going to say maybe they don't have quite a tracer, but Sombra can touch here, Lynx can touch on towards Lucio as well. The question will be, how do you survive against this? The Shy is getting set up here. He's not that far from a Bob, and a Bob will absolutely have to get this cap once that 30% rather has been bridged by Shy. Definitely less than 30% now.
Okay, now they contest. Just a couple meters left to go for the checkpoint here. Bernard with the Discord Orb, not finding too much damage going his way. Alfie tries to dump it, the Pulse Bomb, not going to find the stick, just jumps away, keeps himself from being hacked there by Innovation. Continues to try to poke and prod at the Tracer. Another Bob at the ready, and he's going to invest it immediately. Goes charging into the side room where they are all at. Bob going to be firing away. No Sleep Dart, obviously, for it. And that bought enough space for them to go ahead and get the caps. Another forward spawns are here for the side of the Hangzhou Spark, should they suffer any losses.
Irony, looking towards that Nano. I mean, this is further snowball available. We have to wait for this next EMP, and it's got to be better than the last that we saw out of Innovation. Los Angeles Valiant could be losing a lot more out of this if they don't get the kills now.
And the bubble timings here from Sasha helping to keep everybody alive. Molly narrowly surviving there, but now Easy Han gets taken out. Bernard, the grab, nearly ready to roll, and everybody in a pretty contained spot. It would be massive that he decides to pull the trigger on it. Instead, we'll just go ahead and spy check Innovation, taking him out of that stealth, and Langza will go ahead and get dropped. The Hangzhou Spark now with a massive push coming through.
That was a must-win fight for the LA Valiant, I fear, because Hangzhou Spark now about to get an insane lead. And this will be difficult for the LA Valiant to come back against. They have 4 ultimates, but nearly 5 actually, but they're going to spend big time to be able to stop this. We're at 19 meters already. This is disastrous. Valiant got to pull the trigger.
Yeah, and this all started from, what, 30 meters, and it basically has gone uninterrupted. EMP out 1 to 3 members, but Molly is going to be the one to fall. And LP just getting in there, one clipping him, it would seem. Molly not being able to pull the trigger on that Transcendence to keep himself alive. Grab, comes out, catches 2. Bernard trying to stay alive, counter grab. Super Rich will fall. Is he not able to find that elimination? But it's going to be the Big Bang combo as Alpha Yi picks out Sasha and follows up immediately for a kill onto Langza. The bot can continue to push. Hangzhou Spark do not want to go to a map 5. They want to try to end this right here, right now. But they realize that they, with the loss of Shy, have to pull back. Alpha Yi as well going to go down. But they have done their damnedest to make this insurmountable.
And this is a 107-meter lead here as well. And, you know, look, if you were watching Washington versus Titans, you'd be like, oh, yeah, you know, just come back.
It can happen.
Much easier said than done. You have to be doing something pretty bad to allow a major comeback like that. So, LA Valiant, they got their work cut out for them. Hangzhou Spark have certainly made, you know, they drew the line in the sand. They know exactly what they have to defend against. Another Bob online, so it could be a big difference maker here in the next fight.
Big energy there for Bernard, but Shy going to get taken down. Good opening kill from Sasha, who's trying to build up energy for himself and also catch up in regards to that ultimate, and that's a big window of opportunity to make it happen. Easy Han sniping him, resetting the energy. Now looks for the chase, can't quite tag Alpha E in the back, but Super Rich was out on an island, ends up going down, and yeah, now a good amount of time here for the Valiant to get this push across, try to make it to that checkpoint. That's going to be the first objective here for them. Easy Han nearly picked off, retreats.
Okay, the Bob should defend his checkpoint, so once you see this payload coming on through, Shy will send that one flying on in, and just like they use the Bob to cap the point, they'll use the Bob to defend the point as well. It'll be hard for the Valiant to overcome. EMP will definitely be able to hack it out for some time, but...
Alpha is dead.
There we go.
Bob not exactly in a position to keep this contested, but it's enough to force them back, so now the bot is going to be shifting away. Sasha poking out of the window, or the doorway rather, tries to keep it locked in place. Still getting chipped away at. Bot not going to be going too far. Innovation goes down. Nano now going to be invested.
One
Bernard,
shot.
the recipient. Mega Pack going to be snatched up here by Sasha, trying to stay alive, trying to keep himself sustained. And once more, Bernard has the ult advantage, as well as the energy. The bot back into a neutral position. The Spark now looking to retake the lead as the Transcendence is used by Molly. The grab is going to come through. Sasha, he gets dragged out of line of sight. They can't try to keep him safe. And he ends up going down, and that's massive here for the side of the Hangzhou Spark. EMP connects. Bernard, focused by the Discord Orb, to use the bubble, keeps himself topped up. It still is hovering around 100 energy, which means that he is absolutely terrifying to anybody on the side of the Valiant.
Well, Sash and Zarya now has the weapon on Surge available. My goodness, by the way, EMP, both of them have just been worthless. EMP is just such a bad ultimate, I'm sorry. It just truly doesn't make any difference at all. Innovation being dead. Okay, Hangzhou Spark have 5 alive. They don't need to push, by the way. They just want to shove the bot into LA Valiant territory, and they kind of back up and play defense. They force out a sound barrier.
And they're going aggro on this one. An aggressive beat into the grab. They manage to find Super Rich, but they cannot get the second elimination. LPE still ducking and diving around. Pops the recall. Manages to recall and immediately kill Molly on the back end of that. Izzy Han does find him. Gets that punish, but now we're down below 1 minute remaining. 50 seconds left of the clock as the bot is being shipped back to the midpoint of the map.
Yep. And now Innovation's on an actual hero. You know, does very similar things to a Sombra, but actually does damage. Ultimate is actually good, and is just not a bad hero. So here we go. LA Valiant starting to swing things around into something more acceptable. But Shy has another Bob. Hangzhou Spark have time on their side. They have still double the meters. I think for LA Valiant, they have to push basically double what they have currently, which is a lot to ask for. And they don't even have checkpoints, so we still have the stall moment for the bot.
Sashin falling low and Shy. Able to break through that bubble. The healing output from this Zenyatta and Lucio duo is just not going to be enough. Langza cannot occupy that bot space alongside of his Zarya, so it just ends up going down. Transcendence now going to be used by Molly as they try desperately to get themselves scrambled back over towards the bot. They're trying to keep this contested. Innovation diving around, but now Easy Han taking it out. The Dynamite finds Langza. Oh, just sending him into another dimension. And with Innovation dying, that should be the end of it, unfortunately. Valiant will not be able to extend this and take it into a map 5. My wife has a 50% prediction rate now. Nice. Unfortunate for her, but the Hangzhou Spark are going to be feeling pretty damn good because as they win this, they will clinch the 2nd seed.
Absolutely. Shanghai Dragons, I think, you know, they understood the stakes. You know, they did the best they could. They won the matches rather than they could. And, well, really it just comes down to what can Hangzhou Spark do, and Hangzhou Spark can have a blistering finish to the Midseason Madness qualifiers here. As, you know, the final map, I have to say, was definitely not a valiant effort coming through from the LA Valiant, but it was a mighty fine cleanup from the Hangzhou Spark playing pretty much their A roster again. Okay, we've given Pineapple and Liga their little debuts here. They played well, they could. Liga, I think, actually had a pretty good performance in King's Row. But going back to the tried and true Shy Alpha Yi duo, that's what you're going to rely on. That's the horse that's going to get you to your destination. Speaking of which, Shy is going to be our player of the match here for his heroics today on a multitude of different heroes, as I think one of the few players that didn't actually get subbed out as well.
Yeah, they're the entire time for the side of the Hangzhou Spark in the support lineup, kind of just sticking through the entire way there. But yet again, the Ashe players continue to excel and rack up these players, these player of the match awards. Shy continues to absolutely pop. And when he swaps over to the Sojourn, still looking incredibly good, as you see just the point-blank headshot there on the Becky. Absolutely gorgeous, but the Widowmaker is really where he really started getting into the groove there on Circuit Royale, despite the map loss.
Yeah, I think that's important to note, right? Because LA Valiant with a better team here on Circuit Royale, but even with that, Shy still showing what he can do on the Widowmaker, I think was very important. To be able to kind of push Valiant to, well, I was going to say close again, but close in the fact that Shy tried his best to make it close. But I think a lot of what we saw out of Shy that was great was also on that original map of Ilios, where you see his ability to take down Innovation. And I remember saying at the time as well that part of the reason why Ashe is getting played is to shut down those tracer players. You see him kill Innovation through the transcendences of, can't remember which one was playing the Zenyatta there, might have been Langza. So, yeah, great stuff by the Hangzhou Spark too. Despite dropping a map, which I think LA Valiant deserved to win, Hangzhou Spark have proved that they are more than a capable team, a team that is deserving of the top 4, and a team that I hope will do some real damage when they go overseas. Final standings here as well.
Yeah, here are the standings. I think I actually said Shanghai Dragons at the end of that map, but that's because I had Shanghai Dragons on the mind as the Spark were able to get the win at the very end and overtake the Dragons, knocking them down into that 3rd position. So Spark, they got what they were after.
Look at the
a 9-3 record here, and while they're just behind the Dynasty as far as that map differential is concerned, they're going to be feeling pretty good about the 2nd place.
Yeah, it's 3 teams at 9-3. That is very interesting. 17 plus map diff for Seoul Dynasty, plus 15 for Spark, plus 9 for Dragons, obviously because they had an 0-6 start in this Midseason Madness qualifier, and Kickoff Clash had multiple map 5s there as well. Hunters will go down to 5-7, so I think one piece of peace of mind here for Fusion is that, I think they can firmly claim that they are definitely going to be one of the top 4 teams. On record alone, we can, even if we remove the Kickoff Clash extra bonus tournament points, 6-6 is a better record than 5-7, so there you go. Philadelphia Fusion, they deserve this one. I think we can be pretty conclusive about that.
Oh, for sure. It was just impeccable from them. And, while Shy continues to look really good on the Ashe, M3 right now, in APAC at least, there's nobody who can hold a candle to the performance that we saw from him and the rest of the Fusion here today. So, again, we're keeping our fingers crossed that we see more of that from the Fusion, from all of our teams that are going to be moving forward over into the mid-season tournament because, of course, we want to kick NA's asses, as it turns out. And we want to go ahead and prove that APAC is, in fact, the more dominant region, and I trust in these squads to be able to make it happen. Incredible stuff here today. I think for the Valiant, No Hill back to the drawing board when it comes down to those new Queen Street compositions, a little bit rough around the edges, and I think, unfortunately, one of the biggest things is that when you have Sashin come in, you know exactly what to expect. There's no real way to surprise the Spark unless you can really start building out his hero pool a little bit more, because you know exactly what's going to happen when you see that come through. You know it's going to be the Zarya, and you don't have any flexibility around that, and it just leads to people saying, where's Marvel? So, unfortunately, Valiant unable to make the reverse sweep happen, but the Spark looking good. All of our teams, I have the utmost confidence in. How about you, Avril?
Yeah, I'm feeling good about it. I was a bit worried about some of the teams, but I'm now much more confident about them. We already knew that Dynasty and Dragons were going to be great, and now Fusion and Spark can be added to that list.
All right, well, we'll see what happens, of course, down the line once that tournament does come to fruition, once it is ready to kick off. And can't wait to see it. That's going to do it for us, though, here at APAC. Of course, there's going to be one final day of NA coming up in a few hours. We'll see if the London Spitfire can get that upset victory over the Dallas Fuel. Always question marks when it comes down to the NA play. Never know what you're going to get here in the 2022 season of the Overwatch League. But that closes that out from us, so thank you so much, guys, for tuning in, and hopefully see you real soon. Good night.